welcome to high school basketball on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23. We are here at the Hatchet House in Washington, where the Vincennes Lincoln Alices and the Washington Hatchets get set to collide to see who can claim the sole top spot in the Big 8 Conference this year. The Alices come into tonight's contest with a 5-0 Big 8 record, while the Hatchets come into tonight's game with a 4-0 Big 8 record, Big O record. Overall, the Alices are 10-5 on the season, and the Hatchets are 12-3 on the year. As you take a look at the Alices warming up there on your screen, big number 42, Charles Hetty. And now here comes the Washington Hatchets right out in front of you. And they come into the year with a 12-3 overall mark, as we mentioned before, 4-0 in Big 8 play. Washington is coached by head coach David Omer, and the Alice is coached by 16-year veteran Gene Miller. Big crowd on hand tonight. Cameraman Brett Rode and my statistician, color commentator Hank Lopez. Hank, I think we're set for a real good ball game tonight.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both these teams are undefeated in the Big 8 Conference, and really, you got a great game right now. Two super juniors in tonight's contest. Charles Hetty for the Vincennes Lincoln Alices, and Washington's got a pretty good junior in their own. Maury Porte comes in averaging 17 points a game and around 5 rebounds a game. Also for Porte, comes in doing a real good job for Washington, who comes in with a 12-3 record. They've had 3 losses, and I was talking to some of their players earlier. They said the 3 games they lost, so they really didn't play real well, and they feel like they're geared up to play the Alices tonight, which should be a good game. Also, Washington's got Josh Perkins. He's a 6-foot senior, averaging 14.7, around 15 points a game for Washington. So really, it should be a good contest between both of these teams. The Alices like to put up big numbers and force a lot of turnovers, as does Washington. Washington has played real well. As I mentioned, the record's 12-3, and they are 4-0 in the Big 8 Conference. So really, the Big 8 Conference is on the line tonight. If the Alices lose this one, Washington will be in sole possession of the Big 8 Conference lead. And
the Alices and the Hatchets have both played very similar ball clubs this year. The Hatchets defeated Evansville Central by the score of 79-67, while the Alices defeated Evansville Central 72-64. The Hatchets on top of Mount Vernon 57-56. That was in overtime, a 1-point overtime win. And the Alices defeated Mount Vernon by the score of 81-45. Tell City, Lincoln down Tell City 72-39, and the Hatchets beat them at 69-40. Now, the Hatchets still have Jasper to face. That game was to have been played on January 17th, but it's been postponed till February 20th because of bad weather. So the Hatchets still have a tough Jasper ball club to go through. If they get by the Alices tonight, they have to beat Jasper to claim sole possession of the Big 8 crown. The Alices, of course, have already defeated Jasper, but not by very much. 1 point, a 35-34 ball game at Vincennes. The Alices defeated Princeton 73-33 by 40 points. And the Hatchets down the Tigers from Princeton 75-54. Hatchets beat Boonville 67-65 by 2 points. And the Alices defeated Boonville by 7 points, 59-52. And the Alices down South Knox 80-39. And Washington down South Knox 59-43. So really very similar ball clubs. And I think we're in for a real hustle here at the Hatchet House.
Yeah, it should be a real good game between these two teams. One thing that I noticed about the Alices and Washington, both teams do shoot a lot of 3-pointers. So really look for 3-pointers to be a key in tonight's contest. One other thing to look for, the Alices are a much bigger team than Washington. I say that because the Alices are going to make a change in the lineup. I believe Dan Cleveland will be getting the start tonight in favor of Justin Lowe, but still, with the front line inside of Cleveland, Cardinal, and Hetty, that's 6'2", 6'4", and 6'8". Washington's front line, I believe, is going to go about 6'3", 6'2". So the Alices should have the size advantage, but the only thing that's going to hurt them with is Washington maybe a little bit quicker than the Alices, but the 3-point shot's going to be effective for both teams. Both teams are going to have to be able to hit the 3-pointer.
For the Alices, the man you've got to watch is big Charles Hetty, averaging 17.6 a game. And for the Washington Hatchets, the man you've got to keep an eye on is Maury Porte, averaging 17.7 a game. And Porte has hit 28 3-pointers on the year, so that's the man you got to watch on the perimeter.
Yeah, the Alices should look for Washington because the Alices, the games they've lost, the opposing team has played a zone, so the Alices are going to have to be able to hit shots against the zone.
Here we go now, the starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Vincennes Lincoln Alices, it'll be Clint Barmas starting at one of the guards, number 22, 6'2", 175-pound senior. John Hyden is the other guard tonight, 6'1", 180-pound junior, averaging 5.2 a game. Barmas averaging almost 11 points a game. At center, of course, big 6'8", 200-pound junior Charles Hetty. I mentioned earlier he's averaging 17.6 points per ball game. And one of the forwards tonight for the Owls is Dan Cleveland, 6'4", 185-pound senior, averaging 2 points a game, hauling in 3 rebounds per game. And Derek Cardinal, the other forward tonight, 6'2", 180-pound senior, averaging 9.4 points a game. Head coach, of course, for the Lincoln Owls is Gene Miller, 16 years at Lincoln. He's assisted by Doug Crook, Don Allstott, Steve Combs, and Tim Young. And now the starting lineup for the Washington Hatchets. 12-3 on the year. Clay Hamill, a 5'9", 170-pound junior, will start at one of the guard slots tonight for David Omer's Washington Hatchets. The other guard, Justin Browning, 5'9", 160-pound junior, averaging 5.1 points a game. At the other guard slot, Browning and Havel, both guards tonight. At the center, Ryan Hill, big 6'3", 180-pound senior, averaging 8.9 points a game, also averaging 6.5 rebounds per basketball game this year. And at one of the forward slots, Josh Perkins, 6 foot, 170-pound senior, 14.7 point average on the season for Josh Perkins. And of course, the big man, Maury Portee, the other forward, 6'2", 170-pound junior, 17.7 points a game. He also hauls in 5 rebounds per game. This is the game that more than likely could decide the Big 8 championship of this season. The Owls, since the Big 8 started, have defeated the Hatchets 14-2, and the Lincoln has won 9 Big 8 titles, while the Hatchets have won 2 Big 8 titles. Hatchets wins in the Big 8 came in the 82-83 season, also in the 94-95 season. And the coaches for the Hatchets, of course, I mentioned head coach David Omer. Mark Smith is assistant, JV coach Mike Kramer, and assistants managers Eric Ballingy, TJ Fry, Mark McKinley, Paul Cruz, and Joel Thompson. Here we go. Starts the night contest. Charles Eddy and Ryan Hill, in the center circle to jump the ball up and get the game underway. It's underway. Controlled by Portee. All the bucket up and good. Maury Portee puts the first bucket in for the Hatchets tonight. Excuse me. Cardinal with the basketball for the Owls, and now all the way over to Clint Barmas for a 3 on the way. Too hard, no good. Rebound finally hauled in by Dan Cleveland. Looking to pass it away to Hayden. He does. Taken away almost by Josh Perkins, but he kicks it, and it'll be Lincoln ball out of bounds. 7:35 to go first quarter. The Hatchets on top, 2-0. John Hayden inbound the ball for the Vincennes Lincoln Owls, 10-5 on the season. There's Derek Cardinal with the basketball now for Lincoln. To John Hayden, dribbles out around the perimeter. Clint Barmas now with the basketball. Hatchets in a 2-3 zone defense. Cleveland with the basketball off the glass and tipped away nicely off the glass and recovered by Cardinal. He was fouled by Clay Havel. That rejection off the rim was by Ryan Hill.
Yeah, that was on the borderline of goaltending, but the ref didn't see it that way. It might have looked like it hit the backboard first, but they didn't call anything on the goaltending. But there is a foul on the play picked up by Clay Havel, but the Owls are going to have to start shooting the ball a little more. They're not getting some good shots off. They need to start getting better shots.
Cardinal on the perimeter on the far side, dribbles one time, bounces it to Barmas, up and good. Clint Barmas puts his first bucket of the night too. We're tied 2 apiece. Full court pressure now applied by the Owls. Clay Havel with the basketball. Gets it up court to Josh Perkins. Perkins bounces it over. Up off the glass, no good by Perkins. And ball is loose. And Cardinal finally hauls it in. Hill rather took that shot. Gives it to Hetty. Up the court to Barmas. Down to Cleveland. Knocked out of bounds by Clay Havel. Up and down the court we go. Fast-paced ball game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expect. The Owls will be pressing, and that's the way the Owls want to play, is up-tempo, and better suited for the Owls if it's that way.
Hayden's pass comes in to Cardinal. Derek on the floor a couple of times, down to John Hayden. Clint Barmas. Cleveland shot off the glass, no. Rebound hauled in by Ryan Hill. Pass ahead to Clay Havel. Havel across the 10-second line against Clint Barmas. Comes to the near side to Josh Perkins. Portee, top of the key. Back to Browning now. Across the court he goes to Havel. Havel in the wing. Wants to kick it out to Portee. He does now. Maury on the dribble. Top of the key it goes to Justin Browning. Now over to Perkins. The Hatchets working against a man-to-man defense the Owls have put on them.
As we mentioned, the fast-paced game by the Owls is not what Washington wants to play.
Perkins' pass almost taken away. Blocked by Hetty. Picked up by Hill. To the bucket by Hill. Blocked by Hetty again. Big Charles Hetty and Justin Browning mix it up, and Browning called for the foul.
As we mentioned, the fast-paced plays, the fast pace is what the Alice's want to play, but
You're
it's
right.
not what Washington wants to play. So they're going to be down there probably holding the ball a little bit, taking a little time off the clock, slowing the game down, because the higher the score goes, the better the favor it goes to the Alice's.
We're tied right now, 2 apiece with 5:45 to go, first quarter. Big 8 lead game here in the Hatchet House. Derek Cardinal with the basketball for the Alice's. Can't get it in. Back out to Dan Cleveland. Across the court it goes to John Hayden. Now Cardinal being guarded by Browning. Comes over to Clint Barmas. All the way across the court to John Hayden. Down low to Hetty. He's double teaming the baseline on the far side. Portee knocks it out of bounds, out of Hetty's hands. He and Hill had Hetty double team, but couldn't get the ball back.
One thing you can notice about the Alice's zone offense is just the ball's not moving around crisp enough to get the passes. It's got to be quick passes to get good shots on the zone, and they haven't had it yet.
Yeah, they're kind of slow lob passes.
Yeah.
Hayden now trying to set something up for the Alice's as the Hatchets go into a 2-3 zone defense now. Barmas into Hetty. Charles turns around. Nice try by Portee to block it. Ball won't go down. Picked up by Ryan Hill. Clay Havel now, no checking. Josh Perkins crosses the 10-second mark. Now it goes to Clay Havel. 5 minutes exactly go in the first quarter. We're tied 2 apiece. Havel goes left side with it to Perkins. Back to Clay now. Around the horn it comes to Morey Portee, guarded by Dan Cleveland. He's got the unenviable job of guarding Portee. Bounce pass goes over to Perkins. Long shot, no good. Portee goes high for the rebound over the back of Dan Cleveland, and the ball goes out of bounds off Cleveland's back to the Hatchets. Gene Miller didn't like that call too well, but that's the way the official saw it. Perkins ready to inbound the ball. He gets it in to Portee, up in the air. Good! Nice shot by Portee. Touch shot by Morey Portee for his 4th point of the night. Hatchets on top, 4-2, 4.5 to go first quarter. Barmas to Hayden. Back to Barmas. Now Hayden for 3. Too short. Havel hauls it in for the Hatchets. Havel for the Hatchets hauls it in. A lot of H's there. To Morey Portee on the far side. Comes to Josh Perkins. Around the horn to Clay Havel. In the wing now, down low, and a foul called on the Alice's this time. That'll go against John Hayden. Committed on Ryan Hill. So Hill may go to the free throw stripe. I'm not sure, was he actually shooting?
I'm not sure they're going to call, but
No, gonna take it out.
yeah, but what the Alice's, what I've seen of the Alice's in past games when they've lost, this is the type of way they've came out real flat, haven't scored a lot of points, and the other team gets the adrenaline flowing and gets the swing of the game, and that's the way the game's going to go.
Perkins now round to Havel. Jumper on the line. No. Nice rebound by Hill. Back up. No good. Rebound, Hetty and Hill fighting it over. Portee has it. Up and good. Morey Portee, 6 points. 6-2 Hatchet lead. Charles Hetty rubbing his eyes. He comes down court. He was roughed up a bit on that rebound exchange. Hayden and a foul called on Portee.
That was a good call there by the official. The official's watching Hetty because he knows he got thrown around last time. And I saw Morey Portee. He had the handle on Charles Hetty, holding him inside because he doesn't want to give up the inside position to Hetty, because if Hetty gets it inside, he should have an easy time scoring inside. But Washington's really done a good job of holding Hetty down inside.
Hayden the Cardinal, now down to Dan Cleveland off the glass. Good. Dan Cleveland has the first points of the night. 6-4 lead now by the Washington Hatchets. Browning back to Havel, down court, almost taken away by Hetty into the hands of Morey Portee. Baseline goes Portee, triple teamed over there. To Havel, round the horn. Perkins fakes, goes in the lane, puts it up, too hard, no good. Cleveland hauls it down for the Alice's. Perkins guarding him heavy. Now he's double teamed, ball's loose, Portee has it, he'll take it in. Portee with 8 points, averaging 17.7 a game. All 8 Washington points scored by Morey Portee. Barmas bounces it back out to Hayden for the Alice's. Goes to Cardinal. Cardinal's fouled by Josh Perkins. Talk about a fast-paced game, Hank.
Yeah, one thing you can't notice about these two teams, though, it seems Washington's the aggressor right now. They're being a lot more aggressive than the Alice's, and on that last play, it showed it. They just seemed to want the ball more, and they ended up getting it to get the 2 points. That's why they have an 8-4 lead right now.
Mark Beasley comes into the contest now for the Alice's. He's replacing John Hayden. Cleveland's pass comes into Beasley. Hatchet still in a 2-3 zone defense. Beasley comes to Cardinal with the basketball. He's guarded by Havel. Barmas now to Cardinal. Down to Hetty. Double teamed. Knocked away, out of bounds, off of the leg of Clay Havel. And it'll be Lincoln ball out of bounds with 2:43 to go in the first quarter, down by 4. Hatchets on top 8-4.
Washington really, as we mentioned, aggressive. They're all over Hetty inside. And if refs don't let them play like that, that's the way they got to play if they're going to keep Hetty down.
Beasy now with the basketball for the Lincoln Alice's. Barmas, long 3 on the way. Got it. Clint Barmas is a 39% three-point shooter and pulls down his first one on the night for the trade. Pass down court to Portee. Fakes the shot. Brings it back around to Perkins. Now goes around to Havel. 8-7. Washington on top by 1. 2:20 to go first quarter. Perkins back to Portee. Havel for 3. Left side. Got it. That's Clay Havel's 6th three-pointer of the night, or of the season, rather. And the Hatchets on top, 11-7. Pass down low to Hetty. Off the glass and good. Nice feed from Barmas to Hetty. Hetty's first bucket of the night. 11-9. Washington on top. Havel with the basketball. Ahead to Perkins. Crosses the 10-second line, double teamed immediately. Portee now with the ball. Picked up by Hetty, and the ball's loose. And Hetty going to be called for a foul, I believe. And the Alice's fans don't like that call at all. You see the official there on your screen indicating it was a pushing violation against Charles Hetty. Very nice facility here at Washington, the Hatchet House. Been around for many, many years. It's an institution in basketball here. Portee's pass is knocked right back to him. He goes baseline, double teamed by Barmas. Pass down low, up and good by Kurt Kramer into the ball game for the first time for the Hatchets. Kramer has his first bucket, gives the Hatchets a 13-9 lead with 1.5 to go in the quarter. Cardinal with the basketball for the Alice's. To Beasy, he fakes the 3. Cardinal has the ball. Long jumper. Nope, won't go. Portee goes high for the boards for the Hatchets. He says, slow it down, guys. With 1:18 to go first quarter.
Yeah, they might as well just hold for one shot. They had the momentum of this first quarter. They might as well keep it.
Hatchets on top, 13-9 over the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. Portee takes it around left side to Clay Havel. Now to Perkins on the dribble. 1 minute to go now in the quarter exactly. Almost taken away by Barmas. Havel with the basketball for the Hatchets. Perkins with it now. Oh. Perkins driving, puts it up off the glass. No. Rebound up and good by Kramer. Kramer has his second basket of the first quarter. 15-9. Washington on top of the Alice's with 40 seconds to go first quarter. Cardinal with the ball now for Lincoln. To Beasy around the horn. Barmas for 3 off the mark. And a whistle and a foul called underneath on Dan Cleveland of the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. Cleveland called for a personal foul with 33.6 seconds to go first quarter. Into the ball game now for Washington, Eric Gilly, number 55, along with number 44, Jeff Owens. 33.6 seconds to go first quarter. Washington on top of the Alice's, 15-9. 4 team fouls for Washington, 2 for the Alice's. Havel gets it ahead to Portee. Morey on the drive across the 10-second mark. Dribbles through traffic, back to Clay Havel. 20 seconds to go, and Coach Dave Omer wants Hatchets to take one final shot here in the first stanza. Big 8 lead at stake for both ball clubs here at the Hatchet House tonight. We're down to 10 seconds first quarter. Portee directs traffic. He's going to take it himself. Nope, gives it up to Havel. He has plenty of time. 5 seconds to the glass. Off the rim, no good. Back up, no good. Rebound up, no good. That's the end of the first period here at the Hatchet House, where the Washington Hatchets have a 6-point lead over the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. At the end of the first quarter, Hatchets 15, Alice's 9. Back in 60 seconds on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Looking good isn't good enough when you're furnishing your home.
When shopping for home furnishings to make your home the one of your dreams, shop Cannon's Furniture at 14th and Lexington in Lawrenceville, where furniture is displayed in room settings. You will love the service, quality, and variety at Cannon's.
Only the best for you from Cannon.
Cannon's Furniture.
Only the best for you from Cannon. Cannon's Furniture.
Huge selection. Memmering Motorplex. Largest selection in Southern Indiana. Your automotive supermarket. Quality selection and service. Just ask our customers.
I got the best deal at Memory.
We get the service that we need, and we're very satisfied.
When you come in the front door, everybody says hi to you.
It's always fair.
They got a big selection, and the people around here make you feel so good.
Memmering Motorplex, 1949 Hart Street, Vincennes, your automotive supermarket.
The Owls have the basketball to start quarter number 2, down by 6, 15-9. Pass down low to Hetty. He has it off the glass. Good. Hetty beat Portee that time, picked up his second bucket of the night. 4-point Washington lead now, as Coach Omer has his starting 5 back in the lineup now. Havel with the basketball, dribbles across the top line, now passes to Maury Portee. At the free throw line, turns around and passes back to Havel. He gives it up to Ryan Hill. No, check it, that's Josh Perkins. Perkins on the dribble, Portee on the left side now. Lincoln in a man-to-man defense at this juncture of the ball game, which is 7:20 to go in the first half. Perkins to the baseline, dishes it off, it's loose. Hill has it, Havel. Now Perkins, long 3, no, won't go. Hetty fights for the rebound, it's taken away by Ryan Hill. And Hetty called for a personal foul. Ryan Hill, 6'3", 180-pounder. He's a senior, averaging 9 points a game. And Charles Hetty, 6'8", 200-pounder. Hill looks taller than 6'3".
Either Hill's taller than 6'3" or Hetty's shorter than 6'8", one of the two.
One of those two, yeah.
They both look pretty big underneath there. We're just talking about Hart playing in there, and that's just Hart right there by Ryan Hill. He's probably not better than Hetty, but he ends up pulling down the rebound and getting the foul.
His first free throw's up and good. He's a 70% free throw shooter. So Hill, with his first bucket of the night from the free throw stripe, gives his Hatches a 16-11 lead. And he makes it 17-11 as he hits 2 in a row from the line. Here comes Beasy now with the basketball for the Vincennes Lincoln Alices, visiting here tonight at the Hatchet House in Washington. Beasy to Hayden. Hayden to the bucket. Up and no good. Ball's loose. Havel hauls it in for the Hatchets. Clay across the timeline. Nice behind the back dribble. Guarded by Clint Barmas of the Alices. Pass to Maury Portee in the corner. Guarded by John Hayden. Hayden now on Portee, what used to be Cleveland. Washington working the ball around the perimeter. Comes to Browning in the baseline, in the corner, almost trapped in there. Portee with the basketball, long 3. Well, right on the line, long jumper, but Portee got it anyway. His 10th point of the night. And we're 6 minutes and 20 seconds away from halftime. 19-11. Washington on top of the Alices. Beasy over to John Hayden. Again, the Hatches still in that 3-2 zone defense. Hayden with the basketball, bounces it nicely to Cardinal. Cardinal shot up and good. Nice fake by Derek Cardinal, has his 4th point of the night. 19-13, Washington on top. Bounce pass goes to Josh Perkins. He'll take it, dishes it off to Portee. Portee saves it from going out of bounds, but into the hands of Clint Barmas. Nice behind the back dribble by Barmas, and he's fouled by Clay Havel. Here we go, up and down the court. And a foul call against the Alices brings the Alices fans up off their seats. They feel like they haven't gotten the calls as they should get them tonight. I think so far it's been a fairly well officiated ball game.
Yeah, I believe the officials did a pretty good job of keeping control of the game. I mean, I think they're doing a pretty good job right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, John Hayden ready to bounce the ball in to Mark Beasy. The Owls is down by 6. Into Cardinal. Cardinal to the bucket hard. He bounces it, intended for John Hayden, but it goes out of bounds to the Hatchets. Now that brought the Owls' fans up again. Didn't like that call at all. And Gene Miller also up off the bench. Derek Cardinal checking with the official to see he's going out. Do you have any idea why, Hank?
I think he just probably wants to give him a breather, get Justin Lowe in there. Maybe Lowe can start some offense right now. The Alice's offense is just lacking.
It's kind of surprising to see him talking to the official, then all of a sudden go out. Pass almost went out of bounds to Havel. He picks it up, though. Scoots his foot and goes over to Perkins, and travel called against Perkins. That seemed like a makeup call.
Well, what the Alices need, though, they need something to give them a little bit of life, because they just seem to be dead right now. I mean, they've been playing with Washington, but really the Alices should be beating Washington right now, but they're just not playing well enough to. And you got to give Washington credit, because they're playing real well right now. Maury Portee's already got 10 points, and we're not even midway through the second quarter yet.
And Kurt Kramer back in the lineup, 6'3", 190-pounder. So Coach Omer getting a lot of height on that front line for the Hatchets tonight. Hetty, long shot. Nope, too hard. Lowe, tips it in. Justin Lowe, nice tip in.
I don't know if he meant to tip it in or tip the ball, but he got it to go in.
Well, he meant to tip it in, sure. Well, here comes Perkins. Ball's loose. Lowe has it for the Alices. To Beasy, up and down the court we go. This is the kind of basketball the Alices like. Washington doing a good job, too. Tip pass to Hetty from Barmas. Shot up. He's hammered, and it won't go down. Whistle and a foul called, and Hetty goes to the floor. Portee runs or backs up, and we'll see the officials there on the screen. They're kind of separating players, fans from both sides of the arena, standing and cheering their favorite fighter.
I'll tell you one thing. I know John Hyden pretty well, and I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him. If there's somebody on Lincoln's team you want to pick a fight with, it's not John Hyden.
Gene Miller came down all the way in front of the scorer's bench. Get a shot at Gene Miller if you can, Brett. Over on the Lincoln bench. I guess Brett can hear me. There's so much noise in here.
It's pretty loud in here, really. And
so loud. Brett Road, of course, our cameraman.
We were just talking about the officials having control of the game.
Yeah.
And then we got a little skirmish now.
Oops, they lost it.
But definitely don't mess with Hyden. Maybe somebody else, but I wouldn't mess with Hyden.
Long pass to Barmas from Hetty. No, Hetty with the ball now. Up and no. Rebound, Portee. Morey goes high for the board for the Hatchets. Washington on top of the Alices, 19-14. 4.5 to go first half. And Miller's upset. Get a shot of Miller, Brett, off the bench if you can. Brett still can't hear me. Oh, well, we'll get his attention. Hank, throw something at him. Gene took his jacket off. He's hot now. Dave Omer has his jacket off, too. And looks like Clay Havel's going to the dressing room, the locker room. Man, it's a physical ball game. 19-15, Washington on top. Portee with the basketball for the Hatchets. Fakes, up, shoots, in and out, no good. Follows his own shot in, and off the hands of the Alices. Out of bounds to the Hatchets with 4:24 to go in the first half. Josh Perkins ready to inbound the ball for the Hatchets. Gets it in to Ryan Hill. Portee, nope. And the ball's loose. Travel called on Justin Browning. He barely had the ball long enough to travel.
Yeah, this is one of those games where whatever the ref calls, neither fans are going to be happy. So if you call something for the Alices, Washington's going to be complaining. You call something for Washington, the Alices will be complaining. It's just one of those games. The refs are in a no-win situation.
Here comes Beasy with the basketball for the Alices. To Barmas. Now back to Mark Beasy. John Hyden on the near side. Beasy for three. Got it. Mark Beasy has his 6th three-pointer of the year, and that pulls the Alices 2 within 1. It's 19-18. Hatchet lead. 4 minutes to go first half. Morey Portee, nice dribbling across the 10-second mark. Gives it up to Josh Perkins. Perkins setting up some kind of a play there with a block from Kramer. Perkins top of the key now. He'll bounce it over to Browning. Justin Browning on the dribble, guarded by Mark Beasy of the Alices. Morey Portee with 3:35 to go. First half, Lincoln down by 1. Hatchets on top, 19-18. Washington looking for a good shot. Beasy almost takes it away from Browning. Puts it up and in and out, no good. Hetty and Kramer go high for the board, and both come down with it at the same time.
I'll tell you one thing, if you want to watch a physical matchup inside, you need to watch Justin Lowe and Ryan Hill going at it inside. Those two guys are just fighting tooth and nail in there. Now, the ref hasn't called anything. He's going to need to call a foul on somebody pretty soon. They're going to start throwing punches, but it's physical down in there. And that's probably the way both teams want it. They want to play a physical style of basketball, and you just need to watch Justin Lowe and Hill inside.
Portee's long shot, a little bit too short. Rebound Kramer. It's knocked away, picked up by Beasy. Mark Beasy ahead to Hetty. Charles Hetty crams it in for the bucket, and he's fouled by the Hatchets. See the frustration there on Charles Hetty's face, saying it's about time. The Alices take the lead for the first time in the ballgame, 20-19.
I'll tell you what, the Alices, they seem to play better whenever they start fighting. I'll tell you what, you got a lot of fire underneath them there, and all of a sudden they seem to come to life. They were down there, I believe, about 19-13 at one point, and they decided to come back after a little skirmish there. That side Barmas hits a 3. Beasley hits a 3, and the Allisons now take the lead. They're up by 1. Hetty can convert on the free throw. They're up by 2, so you just light a fire underneath them, and they start playing a lot better.
That foul was on Josh Perkins. Charles Hetty, first time at the line tonight. Got it. 51% free throw shooter. First time any Alice has been at the line tonight. Lincoln now with a 2-point lead, 21-19. Havel the basketball for the Hatchets. Picked up full court by John Hyden. Clay Havel across the 10-second mark. He'll go in the corner to Browning. It's loose. Barmas has it for the Allisons. To Beasley. Baseball pass ahead to Hetty. It's loose. Picked up by Havel. Here we go, back and forth. Havel with the ball for the Hatchets. He'll back it out, bounce it down low in the corner to Perkins for 3. In and out, no good. Charles Hetty with the board. Guarded by Portee. He won't leave his side. Beasley comes down court now for the Allisons. The Allisons fans stand and cheer their team on. And Lowe with the ball, turnaround jumper, got it. Justin Lowe, after fighting off Perkins, got the basket.
Yeah, Lowe's a pretty physical player inside. He's been having a grudge match with everybody over there.
Oh, yeah. Here's Perkins with the basketball for the Hatchets. Pass taken away by Barmas. Intended for Ryan Hill. Alice is really getting physical now. A 4-point lead for the Alices. 23-19. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Into Hetty off the glass. No good, but he's fouled by Ryan Hill. So the Alices now really playing their style of basketball. But the Hatchets really doing a fine job keeping up with them in the first half, though.
Yeah, really. Well, I think what really helped, we talked about whenever Derek Cardinal came out of the game, they put Justin Lowe in.
Yeah.
And it seems like after Lowe's tip-in, right after that tip-in we have when Lowe came into the game, the Alice has really turned it around. I think Lowe's been physical in there. You got some physical guys in there.
Sure
Beasley,
do,
Lowe,
big guys.
Hyden, Hetty, Barnes, all those guys will be physical. They're not afraid to go inside at all.
Justin Lowe, 205-pounder. And Ryan Hill, 180-pounder. Big boys. Charles Hetty at the line again. It's up and too short, no good.
That's just a show of fatigue right there. I think he's a little tired, didn't get the knees into it.
Hetty normally a 51% free throw shooter. The Alice have had some trouble from the stripe this year. As Hetty gets ready for free throw shot number 3. It's up and good. 2 out of 3 from the line for Charles Hetty. Gives his Alice a 5-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the first half now. Clay Havel on the dribble for the Hatchets, loses the ball momentarily. It's loose and passed back in to Jeff Owens. Owens picks it up, passes it ahead to Perkins. Josh Perkins with the basketball. To Havel, 140 to go in the first half. Perkins now for the Hatchets with the ball to Maury Portee, guarded by Charles Hetty. Portee on the ground one time. Havel, Portee, 1.5 to go in the first half. Vincennes Lincoln Alice is on top of the Washington Hatchets, 24-19. Maury Portee's pass comes to Clay Havel. He'll go in the corner now to Josh Perkins. Perkins is guarded by Beasley, or Barmas rather. Havel's pass goes over to Portee. 110. Portee's long 3. Got it.
Big shot.
NBA 3 for Maury Portee. His 29th three-pointer of the year.
Big shot. I tell you what, Washington really struggling there, struggling to score points. Portee gets the ball and just says, hey, I'm going to hit this shot. He hits it. He's got 13 points in the first half. Still got 1:08 to go in the second quarter.
Now we have one of the officials talking to Clay Havel out on the court. He's back in after going to the locker room.
I think he might be bleeding or something over there because Coach Dave Omer's on the floor. And, well, maybe Maury Portee's checking out of the game. Maybe there's something wrong with him. Not quite sure, but maybe he's just getting a break. I'm not for sure, but he'll check in for him. So
14,
watch Lowe down underneath if you want to see some physical action, because Lowe's banging it down inside.
Yeah, he's banging it against Josh Perkins right now. There he is. Him and Perkins are matching up. 57 seconds to go in the first half. The Owls with the basketball and a 2-point lead. 3-pointer by Barmas. No. Rebound Havel for the Hatchets. Clay's pass goes ahead to Jeff Owens. He's in Hatchet territory, picked up by Mark Beasley. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Double teamed over in the corner. Ball's loose. And Hyden has it. And he evidently stepped out of bounds before he bounced it off the back of Jeff Owens. Alice's fans don't think so, but the Hatchet fans do.
They haven't agreed with the ref too much tonight, so.
Why should they start now, right?
Exactly.
Here comes the pass into Jeff Owens. This is a fun ball game to call. Owens dribbles around Beasley, but Mark grabs him as it goes around for a foul. 32.4 seconds to go first half. Lincoln with the slim 2-point lead, 24-22. if the first half is any indication of what the second half is going to be, it's going to be a wild ball game.
Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised to see a few technicals or something like that before this game's
Oh,
over.
me either. Perkins pass comes in backcourt to Clay Havel. He gets around John Hyde and into Hatchet territory. Back to Josh Perkins now with 20 seconds to go first half. Clay Havel to Perkins. Josh with the basketball. Guarded by Barmas. There's two, Barmas and Beasy both in there at the same time. Here's the pass to Havel. He bounces it to Perkins. Nice fake. Baseline. Fakes again. Goes up. And he's hacked on the way down.
Smart play there by Josh Perkins. He knows the Allisons are looking for big plays. You know, they want to try to block a shot. First shot fake got Barmas up in the air. He drives around. Second shot fake drew him the foul. And he's going to go to the free throw line where he shoots 82% from the free throw line. So good free throw shooter is Perkins.
That's the man the Hatchets want at the line with 7.1 seconds to go in the first half. They're down by 2. And looks like we could go into the locker room tied up at 24 apiece.
Possibly. One key note, Perkins has not scored yet in the contest, so he's looking to hit the score, and he averages about 15 points a game.
Yeah, here he is at the stripe. 6 foot, 170-pound senior Josh Perkins. Up and good for one. Pulls his Hatchets 2 within 1. 24-23. 7.1 ticks of the clock to go first half. Lincoln on top, 24-23. A great Big 8 basketball game here at the Hatchet House. It's good again. We're tied, 24 apiece. Hetty gets it in to Beasy. Beasy still in the backcourt, back to Hetty. He crosses the 10-second mark. 3, 2, 1. He got it away. No good. That's the end of the first half. And what a first half it was. A great basketball game. We're tied here at halftime. 24-24. A very physical ball game. Up and down that court first half, and several players had to leave the playing floor for a while to recuperate from their injuries. And we're going to take a 60-second timeout to recuperate from our fast-paced game in the first half. We're tied at halftime, 24-24 at the Hatchet House. The Alice's and the Hatchets on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Snyder's Body Shop. We've been in business for over 25 years because we care about our customers. Whether it's spot repair or complete paint job, choose Glassrick colors to guarantee the best possible finish.
Snyder Body Shop. When you care about your car, we're your next stop. We care, and we show it at Snyder Body Shop. We care, and we show it.
Snyder's Body Shop. We take the dents out of accidents.
Taco Rail.
Just one taste, and you'll know that we're the place.
At some restaurants, you have to try almost every item on the menu to find one that tastes great. But at Taco Rail, everything we serve is prepared to perfection. Just one taste of one item at Taco Rail will have you saying everything is great. That's right, Taco Rail. At the corner of 6th and St. Clair in Vincennes. Taco Rail. Just one taste.
Okay, hey, we're back just with about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go before the second half starts. Both ball clubs back out on the court. And what a ball game it's been. We're tied at halftime, 24-24. And here's my stat man and color commentator Hank Lopez to tell you how the scoring went in the first half.
All right, scoring in the first half for the visitors, the Lincoln Alices, they were led by Charles Hetty. Hetty had 3 two-point field goals, 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 8 points. Clint Barmas pitched in with 5 points. He had 1 two-point field goal and 1 3-point field goal for 5. Justin Lowe had a nice tip in there and also had a turnaround jump shot for 4 points. 3 points for Mark Beasley, who connected on 1 3-point. And 2 points apiece for Derek Cardinal and Dan Cleveland, who both had 2-point field goals. For the Hatchets, they had a great first half played by their junior sensation, Maury Porty. Porty averages 17 points a game, and he's well on his way to his average. He has 13 at halftime, 5 two-point field goals, 1 3-point field goal, as I mentioned, for 13 points. It dropped off from there to Kirk Kramer. Kramer did not start the game, but has 2 two-point field goals for 4 points. Clay Havel connected on 1 3-point basket for 3 points. And Ryan Hill was 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 2 points. Josh Perkins was also 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 2 points. Your leading scorers at halftime, Hetty leads the Alices with 8 points, and Porty leads the Hatchets with 13. We're tied at 24 at halftime.
Just about a minute and a half away from second half action, and just a few interesting stats here. This is the 165th time these two ball clubs have met. The Owls have won 93 of those, and the Hatchets have won 78 of those meetings. Last year when these two clubs met, in Vincennes. It was a 64-41 win for the Alice's. Lincoln has won the last 13 out of 15 matchups, and Lincoln has played Washington more than any other team in the history of the Alice's school. So here we go. And one more thing. There are no other teams in the United States, in the country, with the nicknames Alice's and Hatchets. So just a little sideline trivia there for you.
Also, you're talking about the games played. One of those games the Alice's lost was 2 years ago here when both teams were undefeated coming into this game. Washington came out winning the game, I believe, in overtime. I believe if some of you Alice fans remember, Hetty, when he was a freshman, had a jumper at the free throw line on the far end of the floor, missed it, went to overtime, and Washington won the game in overtime. And that was the year Washington ended up winning the Big Eight Conference. I believe you can see the banner up there. 94-95 is the year Washington won it. That was 2 years ago here on this very same floor. So hopefully the Alice's don't have a repeat of what happened there. But right now, should be a pretty good second half as we're tied 24-24 at the half. And since Gene Miller started coaching the Alice's 16 years ago, he's only lost 2 times to the Hatchets, but both of those were overtime games. So this is really a very rich basketball tradition. The Alice's and the Hatchets, long-time rivals, starting back in 1906, a long time ago, and it's been going on ever since. It's a lot of fun. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Our cameraman Brett Rowe doing a fantastic job with the camera. And second half just about to get underway. Dan Ravelin and Hank Lopez with you behind the bench as Charles Hetty will get the ball in to Mark Beasy to start the second half. Here we go. Hang on to your seats. Beasy crosses the 10-second mark. Gives to Clint Barmas on the near side. Back around to Beasy. And the Hatchets come out again in that 2-3 zone defense. Beasy with the basketball to John Hyden in the corner over there. Mark with it again. Hyden drives baseline, puts it off the glass, and good. John Hyden scores first in the second half. The Owls is 26, the Hatchets 24. Down the court quickly comes Perkins. He'll dish it off, shot up, and no good by Hill. And a foul on the rebound. Looks like Clay Havel got caught for going behind the back. Yeah, nice move by John Hyden on the other end. One thing he really does well is drive to the basket. He likes taking it inside and muscle it up, and he did a good job there. Washington's having trouble rotating on the zone because the Alice's are passing the ball quicker, and they got it around to Hyden that time, and he took the baseline. That was a great job of passing the ball. That's what they need to have every time down the floor.
We'll see what Gene Miller has done differently in the locker room at halftime. Hyden's alley-oop to Hetty. He has it up, and good. Nice pass from Hyden to Hetty. And the Owls score the first 4 points in the second half. Tough pressure being applied now by the Owls, but Perkins breaks it for the Hatchets. He'll dish it off. Nice lay-in by Ryan Hill. Good pass from Perkins to Hill, and the Hatchets down only by 2 now, 28-26. Beasy with the basketball for the Owls. Barmas now with it. Round the horn to John Hyden in the wing on the far side. Long cross-court pass to Barmas. He'll fake the 3. Driving the lane, puts it up. Good. Nice scoop shot by Clint Barmas.
There's another player who does well driving to the baskets, Barmas.
4-point lead now by the Alices. 6.5 to go, third period. 30-26. The Alices over the Hatchets here at the Hatchet House. Across the court, or across the 10-second line comes Browning to Maury Porti. In the corner now to Josh Perkins. Dribbles around Barmas off the side of the backboard, no good. Scramble is on, and a jump ball is called. And it's second half just about as physical as the first half. And the officials, I think, conferring to see who was on the ball. And I think they're trying to settle things down a little bit.
Both teams, I'll tell you what, you saw the ball on the floor, and both teams were not afraid to jump on the pile and try to not hurt somebody, but just try to be physical in there. And both teams have been doing that real well so far in this game.
Hetty steals the inbounds pass from Perkins. He'll give it to Mark Beasy. Now to Clint Barmas, back to Beasy, back to Barmas. Barmas faked the 3. Low shot, up and good.
That's what we were talking about, quick passes, moving it around, make the defense move, and they did a good job, and Low took a nice jump shot there and hit it.
Lincoln now with the biggest lead of the night, 32-26. Perkins across the 10-second line. In the lane, all the way up and no good. Justin Lowe with rebound for the Lincoln Alices, having to fight to hold on to that ball, and he throws some elbows. Perkins jumps up, going back at Lowe. The officials separate him. And as we mentioned, it was destined to happen. Very physical ball game in that first half, and it comes out second half the very same way. Lowe was triple teamed after he hauled the ball down and swung some elbows to get out of that triple team. And offensive charging called against the Alices. Gene Miller and Dave Ulmer both up off the bench. Homer's a little quieter than Miller. And we have timeout now while Josh Perkins ties his shoe.
No offense to Perkins or anything, but he's 6 foot 170. He's messing with Lowe, who's 6'5", 205. A little bit of the size advantage there for Lowe. I'd put my money on Lowe.
It takes a lot to get Lowe upset, but when you do, it's detrimental to your health. Pass tipped away by Barmas, picked up by Portee. He's double teamed in the backcourt. Morey tried to get around. Bounce pass comes down to Jeff Owens. Here we go. Back to Morey Portee. Long NBA three. Too soft. It's tipped out of bounds by the Alices. And over to the Washington Hatchets with 5:36 to go in the third period. Lincoln on top, 32-26. Exciting ball game as Perkins bounces it into Portee. And a whistle, a foul away from the ball. Mark Beasley called for a personal foul. He and Justin Browning were getting together there. Gene Miller down on half court now talking to the official. As it'll be the Lincoln, or rather the Hatchet ball out of bounds with 5:34 to go, third period. Josh Perkins looking to get it in, looking for Portee. Now he gets it in. No, it's off the hands, taken by Ryan Hill. Hill one time on the dribble. Bounces it over to Jeff Owens. He loses it. Picked up by Barmas. Ahead to Barmas from Beasy. Off the glass. No, over the rim. Good. Clint Barmas with his 9th point of the night. And the Hatchets call timeout with 5:18 to go, third period. Vincennes Lincoln Alice is on top of the Washington Hatchets, 34-26. Be back in 30 seconds on Wabash Cablevision, Channel 23.
The secret to any successful recovery is to have professional care you can count on. Our goal is to provide you with full recovery from your injury. Vincennes Orthopedic has established a reputation to properly assist you with your injury, specializing in therapy that will recover you back to normal. Vincennes Orthopedic Sports Medicine Center will utilize the proper exercises for faster recovery. Take it to the professionals at Vincennes Orthopedic, located at 1019 Bayou Street, Vincennes.
With 5:18 to go in the third quarter, the Alice's 34, the Hatchets 26. And when we said this is a battle for the Big 8 crown, we really didn't mean, coming into the game, we didn't mean a physical battle, but that's what it's turned out to be.
Yeah, and really when we talked about size at the beginning of the game, the Alices have the size advantage. And really, I mean, if you're going to talk about getting physical, the Alices have the horses to get physical inside. Washington may have the mental toughness, but I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to get the Alices disrupted, and Washington's trying to do that. But really what it's done is made the Alices really play better since they've been so fired up about this game. But I'll tell you the one thing that's changed, the Alices defense.
And now one of the officials comes over and talks to Gene Miller.
Yeah, he personally escorted him to sit down there, so I don't think Miller will be getting up for a little while, and if he does, he may not be around here much longer.
Perkins ready to get the ball in. He does. It comes in to Kurt Kramer. Ahead to, who shot that?
That was
number
Hill.
32, Ryan Hill. Took it up and good. Hill with his 6th point of the night. 34-28 now. Lincoln on top by 6. 5 minutes exactly to go, third period. Beasley's pass goes to Clint Barmas. He is back to Mark Beasley. Very exciting basketball game. Hoosier hysteria at its best from the Hatchet House. Hatchet House has a steep tradition of high school basketball and living up to its name tonight.
I'll be a boxing arena here pretty soon.
Beasley for 3. No. Hetty has the board. He'll bounce it to John Hyden. Set it up again. Mark Beasley. Fakes right, goes left. Barmas with the basketball in the paint. Jumps, pumps, short, no good. Has his own rebound. It's knocked away from him. And a foul called on the Washington Hatchets. With 4.5 to go in the third quarter. 34-28. Lincoln on top.
One thing's for sure, though, what's really happened to the Alices, really, if you've been to a lot of the Alices games, they're really usually not aggressive. But what's happening is Washington's being the aggressor, and the Alices are playing a lot more aggressive, and I guess it's pretty much the Alices' liking because they played a lot better playing more aggressive. At the beginning of the game, they weren't as aggressive, and they were down at the end of the first quarter, 15-9, and now they're up by 7.
Clint Barmas, an 81% free throw shooter, puts the first one through. 6'2", 175-pound senior, averages almost 11 points a game. He has both free throws, and he has 11 points now. So Barmas has his average, and the Alices have an 8-point lead. 36-28, 4:20 to go, third period. Morey Portee trapped in the backcourt, can't get it across. Now he does to Kurt Kramer. Kramer hands it off to Josh Perkins. Perkins on the dribble. All the way across court, jumps. Nice block by Barmas. Perkins again for 3 points. Got it. Perkins didn't give up. He's a 32% shooter from three-point land and puts his first 3 through of the night, cutting the Lincoln lead to 5. 36-31. Hyden's long pass to Barmas. He'll take the 3. No good. And Charles Heady going to be called for going over the back of Maury Portee. Dave Omer, coach of Washington Hatchets, wants to talk to Portee. You see him there on the screen. He's calling Portee over along with Josh Perkins. Now he sends Portee back out. Gene Miller also up off the bench. Both coaches really earning their money tonight. Miller getting a little help sitting down a while ago. Perkins with the basketball for the Hatchets. They're down by 5 with 3:40 to go, third period. Josh's pass goes cross court to Justin Browning. He'll bounce, pass it down to Kurt Kramer. Portee with the basketball now. The Alice's fans wanted a travel call, didn't get it, but a foul is called on the Alice's. Browning went up for the shot, and he was fouled. Lincoln fans up off their seats, and you can feel a breeze now. They're all motioning travel. You can actually feel a breeze from that. All those arms flailing over there.
I do have to agree with the Alice fans. I mean, we don't really tend to take sides, but it did look like a violation there by Maury Portee. But as we mentioned earlier, the refs, they were pretty good at the start, but they've gradually decreased, I guess you could say.
I think we jinxed him, Hank. First shot up by Justin Browning, no good. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Justin Browning, 5'9", 160-pound junior, averages 5 points a game. Has not been able to score yet in this contest. Official coming over to the scorer's bench now. You see Gene Miller there on the top of your screen. He's just kind of sauntering over there, trying to hear what he can hear. He didn't move too fast that time. Back at the line, Justin Browning again. Up and got it this time. First point of the night for Browning. A 4-point Lincoln lead with 3.5 to go, third quarter. Good ball game. Hope you're enjoying it at home. Beasley across the 10-second mark goes to John Hyden on the left wing. Hatchets in a 2-3 zone defense again. Whistle away from the ball and a foul called on Lowe. Justin Lowe picks up a personal foul. He and Kurt Kramer going at it again. Kramer is 6'3", 190-pound junior. There's big Justin Lowe on the screen. He's 6'5", 205-pound junior. And the fans again up off their seats. Applauding something. I'm not sure exactly what they're applauding.
I think they're just happy because
Lowe's sitting down.
Yeah, they're giving Lowe a nice standing ovation.
Yeah.
He did a good job out there. See if hopefully we get the same quality minutes out of Cleveland.
As Dan Cleveland comes into the contest, replacing Justin Lowe. Here comes Maury Portee down the court for the Hatchets. He'll stop. Give it to Perkins. 4-3. No. Rebound tipped around. Finally brought down by Browning. It's up. It's good. Justin Browning has his third point of the night. Down to 2-point ball game now. 3 minutes to go, third period. 2-point lead by the Alice's. Beasley with the ball. Now to Barmas. Back to Beasley to Hyden. Left side in the corner. John Hyden. Long pass taken away by Maury Portee. Hatchets with the basketball now. 2:45 to go, third quarter. Down by 2. At the Hatchet house. Maury Portee stops. Dishes off to Josh Perkins. Perkins around to Portee. Wanted to take the 3. Didn't do it. He has 1 3-pointer tonight. Perkins at the free throw stripe. Nice fake. Up. No good, but a foul call on John Hyden. Good move by Josh Perkins. That stops the clock with 2.5 to go, third quarter. Hyden sits down, and Derek Cardinal comes into the contest. Talk about a physical ball player. Cardinal's one of the most physical on the Alice's team.
Yeah.
Derek Cardinal, number 54. Nice young man, but he's not afraid to get in there and scrap for the ball.
He's not going to take much from anybody
No,
inside.
I wasn't going to say that. Josh Perkins at the line, 6', 170-pound senior. Cans the first one. He is 3 out of 3 from the stripe. Of course, he's an 82% free throw shooter. Is Josh Perkins. Has only 6 points now, averages 14.7 a game. And we're waiting for the official to calm things down now. Perkins has the basketball back in his hands. Looking for 4 in a row and did not get it, but a whistle and a foul called on the Alice's. Heady, I believe, called for a foul again. They were fighting for position under the boards, and Heady got called for the foul. That brings Gene Miller up off the bench again, and that brings the Alice's fans up off their seats again. The Alice's fans really aren't getting their money's worth if they paid for the seats, because they're not using them. Standing up most of the time. That is 3 fouls on Charles Hetty with 2.5 to go in the third quarter.
More importantly, it's a 17 foul for the Alice's, so the Hatchets are in the bonus for the rest of the game.
Ryan Hill at the free throw stripe, a 70% free throw shooter. He's perfect from there so far tonight and maintains that record as he cans this one. We're tied, 36 apiece.
Right now, Washington's on a 10-2 run since that timeout that they called when the Alice's were up 34-26. They're on a 10-2 run right now.
6'3", 180-pound senior Ryan Hill puts it up, and no, can't get the roll. Hetty goes high for the board, has it stripped away by Perkins, but Cardinal has it ahead to Barmas. Bounces it off Perkins' leg. Josh picks it up over ahead to Browning, and Browning travels. Nice layup, but he traveled before he went to the bucket. And the Alice's fans really applaud that call.
The Alice's fans going crazy, and we got timeout.
Yeah, we got timeout. If we can get a shot of the Alice's crowd over here, Brett. Yeah, there they are on the screen. They're standing and applauding now, and some of them are still booing the official. You can hear the boo birds in the background. We're at 2:18 to go, third quarter. We're tied 36-36. Be back in 60 seconds, or rather 30 seconds, on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
If you're finding it hard to select a carpet or tile of your choice, then you should choose M&S Floor Covering. We've been in business for 27 years to provide the best floor covering selection in the Knox County area. To touch up those finishing touches around the house, M&S Floor Covering has the paint you can count on. With a variety of colors and styles, MAV Paint will provide that finishing touch you've been looking for. Stop by M&S Floor Covering at Upper 11th and Hart, where you can count on the best quality, service, and selection.
Well, we thought this might be a fight for the Big 8 lead, and it certainly has proved to be a fight in more than one sense of the word. Both ball clubs very physical. And the Alice's fans, you see there on your screen, the score tied 36-36. 2:18 to go in the third quarter. Dan Cleveland to inbound the ball for the Lincoln Alice's. Here comes Mark Beasley with it across the 10-second mark. At the free throw stripe, bounces over to Derek Cardinal. Cardinal back to Beasley. Mark one time on the floor. Cardinal fakes three. Long jumper by Derek off the back of the iron. Too hard, no good. Barmas has the rebound for the Alice's. He'll bring it back out, set it back up. Cardinal with the basketball for the Alice's. Now to Beasley at the free throw stripe. Barmas for three. Clint up, no. Ball's loose. Charles Hetty has it. He'll take it hard to the board, up and good. Charles Hetty with his 12th point of the night gives the Alice's back a 2-point lead with 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Josh Perkins now crosses the 10-second mark against Clint Barmas. Maury Porti back to Perkins. 1:25 to go, third period. Perkins back to Porti. Long NBA three again. Nope, can't get it. Hetty has another board for the Alice's. Gives it ahead to Beasley. He's looking down court as it dribbles across the 10-second line. 1:10 to go in the third period. Lincoln on top by 2, 38-36. Hatchet house hysteria. Beasley round to Cardinal. Cardinal into Hetty. Back to Beasley. Wide open. Doesn't take the shot. Push against Perkins, and he's called for a foul. Mark Beasley pushed off against Perkins. That was a pretty obvious foul. And the officials picked it up right away. They haven't had any trouble picking up fouls.
I'll tell you one player we haven't seen tonight, which I'm surprised, is Mitch Roth has not checked into the game yet.
Yeah.
He's got a nice outside shot against his zone. I'm surprised he's not been inserted in the game yet.
Beasley sits down, and John Hyden comes back into the ballgame now for the Alice's. Perkins pass to Porti, back to Josh Perkins with under a minute to go, third period. Lincoln on top by 2, 38-36. Perkins against Barmas. Josh picks it up, now passes to Maury Porti, guarded by Derek Cardinal. Porti around Cardinal. Back to Perkins. He'll drive baseline off the top of his foot, out of bounds to the Alice's. 41.5 seconds to go, third period. Nice drive by Perkins, but couldn't control the ball on the baseline. Cleveland's pass comes into John Hyden. The Alice's will be content to work for one final shot here in quarter number 3. As John Hyden goes across the midfield stripe. Derek Cardinal holding the basketball with 25 seconds to go. Third quarter. Lincoln with a 2-point lead. And the ball game could mean, well, will mean the lead of the Big 8 Conference for whoever comes out here on top tonight. Not necessarily the championship, but at least the lead in the Big 8. Lincoln has won 9 Big 8 titles, and the Hatchets have won 2 Big 8 crowns. Here we go, 5 seconds to go, third period. Hyden all the way in, and he's fouled. Reach-in foul by Perkins, I believe it is.
I think it's trying to even them up. The fouls right now, as they stand, the Owls have committed 8 fouls, Washington 2. Now, not trying to be biased, but I don't think the Owls have been that much more physical than the Hatchets have in this half.
Okay, that's only the 3rd team foul for the Owls. John Hyden with inbound. Cardinal baseline, three-point shot. Good! Derek Cardinal has his 3rd three-pointer of the year, and that gives the Owls a 5-point lead at the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a 41-36 ball game. At the end of quarter number 3, don't go away. It's not over yet by any means. We're going to come back with a full, exciting 4th quarter in 60 seconds right here on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Your local internet provider is Data Depot. Click your way through the internet to get up-to-date sports scores, business information, stock market reports, and more. So go online today with Data Depot. We build computers built to your specific needs, and we have the accessories to go along with it, like printers, learning discs for kids, CD-ROMs, and more. When it comes to price, selection, and quality, Data Depot is your choice for today's technology.
Gentlemen, do you know how great it would feel to receive a set of King golf clubs for Christmas? Or a 96-piece Craftsman tool set? Or season's tickets to your favorite sporting event? Then you know how she'll feel with the gift of a sparkling diamond or precious stone jewelry from Joe Craft Jewelers, locally owned and located at 217 Main in the historic bank building. Joe Craft Jewelers, where elegance is priced within your reach.
And the Owls will start quarter number 4 with a bounce pass into Charles Eddy. Turn around, loses the handle on the ball, but a foul called against the Washington Hatchets. The Owls scored 20 points in that 3rd period, and the Hatchets scored 12 in quarter number 3. Foul goes against Josh Perkins, his 3rd foul, and fouls could become very important here in this final quarter. At the free throw stripe is Charles Eddy, a 51% free throw shooter, averaging 17.6 a game. He now has 12 points on the night as he misses the front of his 2-shot foul. Charles Eddy, 6'8", 200-pound junior. One more time from the stripe. Lincoln with a 5-point lead off the front of the iron. This time too soft, but the Cardinal has the rebound for the Alices. They'll pass it back out to John Hyden. Hyden looking against that 2-3 zone press of the Hatchets. Still have not seen Mitch Roth, as Hank mentioned earlier. He's a very deadly outside shooter, and so is Hyden as he misses that 3, though. Perkins with the rebound for the Hatchets. Here comes Josh. Stops, pops, and scores, but he slipped before he could get the shot away and call for traveling. Really an unfortunate slip there. It was a good shot, but Perkins could not maintain his footing and call for a traveling. 7:20 to go in the game. 41-36, a 5-point Lincoln lead. Hyden's pass to Derek Cardinal. Back to John Hyden. This ball game, everything it was built up to be and more. Cleveland's pass goes off to Barmas, almost loses it out of bounds. Back to Dan Cleveland now. Hyden in the paint, dishes it off to Barmas. Short jumper, good. Clint Barmas picks up his 13th point of the night. Now it's a 43-36 lead, biggest lead of the night by the Alices with 6:50 remaining in the game. Portee jumps, pumps, baseline, no. Foul called on Hetty, and I believe that's number 4 on Charles.
Oh, they're going to go. It's going the other way. They're going to give it to Kramer.
Oh, that's right. When it gets Kramer. Okay. Like I said, Hank, I think the officials are trying to maybe even things up now.
Maybe.
You're not going to say that.
Sometimes you just can't guess what the officials are trying to do.
No, they're a different breed. 43-36. Lincoln on top. 6:40 to go in the basketball game. Big 8 lead game. From the Hatchet House in Washington. Great crowd on hand. These fans are enjoying it here. We hope you're enjoying it, watching it at home on your TV. John Hyden setting things up. Derek Cardinal now with the ball. Eddie moving around in between the lines of the free throw lane. Barmas dishes the Cardinal. Cardinal on a 3-point line. Shoots too short. Cardinal, or rather Cleveland
I think
there.
It was a pass. It was
get
a pass.
The pass and the shot. 45-36 now. 9-point Lincoln lead. Portee with the basketball for the Hatchets. Triple teamed in the backcourt. Picks up his dribble. Gets it across to Perkins. Josh on the dribble. Brings it back out. Setting things up with 6 minutes to go in the game. His Hatchets down by 9. Pass goes over to Justin Browning. Now to Maury Portee in the corner. He dishes it off to Josh Perkins. He loses the handle momentarily, picks it up in the corner. Portee with the basketball. In low to Hill. Back out to Perkins. Long three-pointer. No good. Petty has it for the Alice's to John Hyden. And now the Alice's seem to have control of the game. But we still have a long way to go. 5.5 to go in this game. Anything could happen and probably will. 45-36. John Hyden dribbling the ball around on the perimeter. Trying to get someone open inside that tough 2-3 zone defense of the Hatchets. Barmas with the basketball on the baseline. Back out to Dan Cleveland, into Derek Cardinal in the paint. Has it stripped away by Browning. Here comes Justin Browning on the dribble. Off the glass. No good. Portee goes high for the rebound. Him and Kurt Kramer were fighting for the rebound, and the ball went out of bounds to the Alice's. 5:06 to go in the game, and Coach Dave Omer calls timeout. His Hatchets down by 9, 45-36. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Wabash Cablevision, Channel 23.
We've been satisfying the world's best critics for over 20 years.
So, my car's ready to be picked up, huh?
That's right.
Can't tell where I got hit, huh?
No, sir.
Good as new, huh?
Yes, sir. Good as new.
Well, it was right over here, right? Let's see, it was on the... Good as new, huh?
That's right. Good as new. Bring your Rex to Rex. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Rex's Body Shop in Vincennes.
Okay, we're back with 5:06 to go in the basketball game. While we have just a quick minute here, I was handed a note from the athletic director of Lincoln High School. It says that the game that was supposed to be played between Evansville Wrights and Lincoln Alice's, supposed to be played on January 17th, has been rescheduled for 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, February 15th. February 15th, Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. The Alice's and Evansville Wrights. 5:06 to go in the game. 45-36. The Alice is on top, but the Hatchets will not give up. Cardinal has the basketball for Vincennes Lincoln. Comes to Barmas. Around to John Hyden, guarded by Josh Perkins. Haiti with the basketball now. Charles Haiti turns around, and he is fouled by Kurt Kramer. Looked like Kramer had his hands on him intentionally.
Yeah, actually, people, the Vincennes fans, not to get mad, but that's actually some smart move there by Omer. What he's trying to do is get the fouls on Haiti, because he's got a lot of fouls to waste. He's got one more foul to waste, but Haiti the free throw line and make the Alice's win the game from the free throw line, because we know they've had trouble winning the game from the free throw line.
Exactly. Omer, a very wise coach. Barmas now on the dribble against Josh Perkins. Dan Cleveland, Charles Haiti. And again a foul called on Kurt Kramer. That was the strategy Coach Dave Omer used when he called that timeout.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to agree with Coach Omer there. If they're going to get back in the game, they need to put the Alice at the free throw line, make them win it there, because the Alice has been manhandling them on offense so far.
Haiti 2 out of 5 from the stripe tonight, so very wise choice by Coach Omer. Charles Haiti, normally a 51% free throw shooter, has 2 there now from there, and those came back in the second quarter. Big Charles, 6'8", 200-pound junior. Nope, too soft, no good. Rebound hauled in by Ryan Hill, and Coach Omer's strategy worked that time. Hill dishes it off to Josh Perkins. His Hatchets down by 9 with 4:25 to go in the game. Portee, the leading three-point shooter on the Washington squad with 29 three-pointers this year, will probably have to look to shoot from out there. He has the ball now in three-point land. Looking for help, and almost throws it away across the 10-second line, but Perkins very alertly picks it up.
Yeah, Portee Perkins is going to be shooting 3 here.
We're down to 4:05 to go in the game. Perkins off the glass, good! Josh Perkins, his 8th point of the night, averaging 14.7. Pass comes into Barmas. He'll dish it off to Haiti. Charles going to back it out, slow it down. 45-38. Lincoln on top of Washington with 3:45 to go in the game. John Hyden has the basketball for the Vincennes Lincoln Alice's. And the pass goes awry, and a foul will go on Maury Portee. No, wait. Out of bounds? Nope, a foul on Portee.
Yeah, actually, I mean, you got to agree with Coach Omer right here. That's a wise strategy. He must have seen the film against Lafayette Jeff where the Allison missed the free throws there at the end. And North Central, they had a chance to convert but missed some free throws. So some smart strategy here. Decided there are two different strategies. Either put them at the free throw line or try to hold the ball out. And really, they've kind of done the best of both right now, holding the ball, keeping it a low-scoring game, and also trying to foul and put them on the line.
Derek Cardinal is at the free throw stripe right now. He's a 51% free throw shooter. He and Charles Hetty, both 51%ers. Cardinal gets it down.
Those are the two guys I'm sure Coach Omer said to foul, Hetty and Cardinal.
Derek Cardinal, 6'2", 180-pound senior, averages 9.4 a game. Has 8 now, and he has his, no, does not have his average, as he missed the free throw. Hetty back up, no good, and Hetty is tied up, physically tied up, and lifted up off the floor by Kurt Kramer. I mean, it's okay to foul, but...
I believe they're going to foul to Hill. I think Hill was the one.
Hill got it, yeah. But I just saw Hetty go up off the floor. The Allison fans want an intentional foul. It was very obvious that he was fouled. 3:38 to go in the game. 46-38, an 8-point Lincoln lead. Hetty back at the free throw stripe. 2 out of 6 from the line tonight. Is that right, Hank? I got 2 out of 6?
I got 2 out of 6,
All
too.
right. Hank's my statistician. I'm just an amateur at this. Big Charles, 6'8", 200-pound junior. And the officials waiting quite a while, I think, kind of to slow things down a little bit. Hetty shooting 1-1 in the bonus now. Both ball clubs are. Front end of the 1-1. Got it. Crucial free throws by Charles Hetty. It's his third one of the night. 47-38 now. Again, a 9-point lead by the Alice's. 3:38 to go in the basketball contest. The Big 8 title could be on the line right here for both ball clubs. Charles up again, and no, too soft. Hayden had it in his hands, and Browning took it away. He'll give it up to Josh Perkins. Perkins on the dribble in three-point land. Portee, of course, he's out there in three-point land. Derek Cardinal all over him. Jump shot from the free throw stripe, no good. Ball goes off a couple of Alice's out of bounds, and Cardinal all over Portee.
I don't know, I think you might have to get an Oscar on that one. That's a pretty good acting job.
A very unorthodox shot.
Yeah.
Pass comes in from Perkins to Hill. Now back to Perkins. 3:15 to go in the third, or rather in the game. Long cross-court pass to Browning. To Portee now. He'll bounce it to Perkins. The Alice is really protecting that three-point land. Portee stops and over to Perkins. He has it in his hands. Stops, jumps, pumps. No. Rebounds loose. Perkins has it. Off the glass, no good, but a foul on Hetty. That's 5 on Hetty. 5 fouls on Charles Hetty. That's what Coach Omer wanted. No, 4 fouls.
I don't know if you're in the Terre Haute North game, they might have him down for 5. Hetty, at the Terre Haute North game, Hetty, I actually had some stats there, and he only had 4 fouls in my book, but they had him down for 5. So,
I thought.
Anyways, Perkins will go to the line.
Perkins is there, 82% free throw shooter. He was 3 out of 4, now he's 4 out of 5. And he brings, here comes Justin Lowe into the contest. Charles Hetty sits down to a big standing ovation from the large Vincennes crowd here, and Justin Lowe comes in. Perkins at the line again. It's up, it's good again. Perkins deadly from the free throw stripe. 7-point Lincoln lead now. 2:50 to go in the game. Cardinal with the basketball. Blocked from behind, but a foul by Ryan Hill.
See, that's one of the calls right there. I'm not sure if he really fouled him because I wasn't down there, but that's an anticipated call there by the referee. He's almost about to call that a foul before the shot's even taken, so it's kind of a leeway, but the fouls are now even up because Washington has committed more team fouls than the Allisons have now, so I guess you could say this is a lot of fouls in this game. 19 fouls already in the second half.
The Allisons in the double bonus now, as Cardinal misses the front end of the double bonus. He's 1 out of 2 from the stripe tonight. Derek Cardinal is 6'2", 180-pound senior. Big Derek fires it up again. Got it this time. Lincoln now with an 8-point lead. 2:50 to go in the game. Here comes Josh Perkins down the court for the Washington Hatchets. Down by 8. Perkins long jumper. Almost blocked by Hayden, but he fouled. And that was more of an obvious foul than the other one was
Yeah,
called.
one thing to ask about the Allisons right now is, can they still win this game? They're shooting 7 of 16 from the free throw line, just under 50%. So not going to win a whole lot of games shooting 7 of 16. But the Allisons are hanging on now. They lead by 8. But Perkins back to the free throw line. He is I have him 5 of 5 from the free throw line right now.
So now both ball clubs in the double bonus. Perkins cans the first one. Boy, he's good. Very cool from that stripe. Josh Perkins, 6 foot, 170-pound senior. Here comes again, in there again. 7 out of 7 from the line for Perkins. Hayden's pass comes over to Beasley, or rather Barmas. Cardinal all alone, up and good. Derek Cardinal, 11 points on the night, 50-42. Lincoln on top by 8, 2.5 to go in the game. Here comes Josh Perkins down the floor. This could be a fantastic finish. Portee was alone, didn't take the three. He'll take the short jumper, can't get it to go down. Cleveland's pass goes to Hayden. And he had to fight to get that ball out of there. John across the timeline against Justin Browning. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Derek Cardinal has the basketball for the Allisons. He's fouled by Justin Browning.
And that's the guy that wanted to foul, really. Cardinal shooting 51%. Right now, we're going to see if the seniors can step up and play. We talked about the leadership role. Will Cardinal take the leadership role and hit the free throws down the stretch?
We'll see what Cardinal does right after this 30-second timeout on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
Image is everything. One chance for a first impression. Make the right decision. Ewing Printing is state-of-the-art, utilizing a 6-color press that shows all colors and is proof before the job is printed. Our color copier prints variable image sizes, picture perfect. In-house graphic design, a Linetronic color separator. Ewing Printing is the area's licensed printer to print doctor prescription pads. Ewing, because image is everything.
What a basketball game this has been for both ball clubs, the Vincennes Lincoln Allisons and the Washington Hatchets. A couple of the Allisons fans running along the sidelines there trying to get the crowd stirred up. Of course, this game, like we mentioned, is for the Big 8 conference lead. And on February 7th, the Hatchets will go up against Mitchell. And then on the 14th, we'll take on Paoli. And February 18th up at North Knox. And the Hatchets will finish the year out on February 20th against Jasper. While the Allisons will go to Terre Haute South on February 7th. Evansville North on the 14th. We'll play at Lincoln. At Wrights, we'll play on the 15th. And finish the year at Memorial on the 21st. Here's Derek Cardinal's free throw. First of the 2-point shot. Got it. Derek Cardinal. 3 out of 4 from the stripe so far tonight. Over his 51% average. Cardinal makes it a 51-42 ball game. Can he give the Allisons a 10-point lead? He does with his fourth free throw of the night. 52-42, exactly 2 minutes to go in the game. Here comes Josh Perkins at the free throw line. He'll stop there. Give to Maury Portee. Back to Perkins. Josh on the dribble out front. Double team by Cardinal and Hayden. He gets around Cardinal. Fakes the shot. Portee now with the basketball. Maury goes to Browning. Far side. Nice shot by Justin Browning. A 2-pointer. Browning picks up his 5th point of the night. Brings his Hatchets back to within 8. 52-44, minute and a half to go in the game. Browning against Barmas, gets it ahead to Lowe. Now to Cleveland. Comes back to John Hayden, 1:20 to go in the game. Hatchets have to do some fouling here to get the Allisons back on the free throw stripe to stop the clock. We're down to 1:15 to go in the game. Portee reaches around and fouls Barmas. That's not the man you want at the line, though, if you're a Hatchet fan. Barmas is 81% free throw shooter. 2 out of 2 from there so far tonight.
Yeah, but Barmas is a senior, and another chance here for the senior to step up. Cardinal showed he's ready to play, came up there, hit both free throws. See if Barmas can do the same, try to close this game out for the Allisons.
You saw a shot there of Gene Miller talking to John Hayden and Clint Barmas. Barmas, a 6'2", 175-pound senior, puts it in the air, got it. That's the one the Allisons want at the stripe. Clint Barmas, an 81% free throw shooter, gives the Allisons a 9-point lead. Make it a 10-point lead as he puts the other one right through. 54-44, 1:10 to go in the game. Here comes Josh Perkins and the Washington Hatchets down the court. Perkins to Browning. Browning on the baseline, jumps and has his shot blocked, but is fouled by Barmas. It'll be a 2-shot foul with 1:04 to go in the game. Clock stopped there with the Hatchets down by 10. at the hands of the Vincennes Lincoln Owls. Neither ball club rated this week in the AP coaches poll, but the Owls are at number 8 in the Hoosier Basketball Magazine, and the Hatchets honorable mention in the coaches poll. Browning at the free throw stripe, up and good. Browning 2 out of 3 from the line. He's a 5'9", 160-pound junior, Justin Browning.
One thing you can't do is give him points to the line when the clock stopped.
That's right. Here's his second shot up and good again. Browning 3 out of 4 from the stripe. 54-46 now. Again, an 8-point lead by the Owls. Under a minute to go in the game. Cleveland's long pass, Cardinal all alone. His shot is almost blocked, but he's fouled. Fouled by Ryan Hill. You see Hill in the background there on the screen. He's exhausted. Exhausted young man, big Ryan Hill, 6'3", 180-pound senior. Played a great ball game. Normally averages about 9 points a game, and he has 7 in tonight's contest. And that's 5 fouls on Ryan Hill. He is fouled out with 7 points in the contest. Good effort by senior Ryan Hill. He's replaced by Jeff Owens. At the free throw stripe, Derek Cardinal. Cardinal 4 out of 5 from the line. Very impressive. Senior. Good again. 5 out of 6 from the stripe for Derek Cardinal. That will improve his 51% free throw average. Derek Cardinal again. Hope I didn't jinx him. Here we go. Got him.
Another thing about Cardinals' free throws, all of them have been in the fourth quarter, so he stepped up and did a good job for the Owls.
That's what the Owls have needed all year long. Perkins shot up, no good. Ball's loose. Justin Lowe comes down with it. And before Lowe could swing an elbow, a foul was called. That's the same situation Justin was in last time when he was almost forced to move his elbows.
I don't think he meant to throw elbows,
no.
But he was just trying to give himself some space.
Right, that's what I said. He was almost forced to throw his elbows to get out of that. Lincoln with a 10-point lead, 56-46. 45.8 seconds to go in the basketball game. Looks like the Owls, as if things stay like they are right now, will capture the sole lead of Big 8 Conference. Justin Lowe puts the first one through. He's a 79% free throw shooter. That's his first trip to the line tonight. Very calm free throw shooter. Again, there it goes. And again, no problem, says Justin. Here come the Hatchets down the court.
No fouls.
Jeff Owens on the dribble, crosses the 10-second mark. All the way in the paint. Nice block by Cleveland. Behind the back dribble by Barmas. Again behind the back. Barmas dishes to Cleveland off the glass. Good! And a foul by the Hatchets. Dan Cleveland picks up his 4th point of the night. Basket counts and a foul goes against Maury Porti. That's his 4th foul of the night. Daniel Cleveland at the free throw stripe, down by 14, 60-46. Cleveland's first shot up, no good. Porti goes high for the rebound. He'll haul it in, pass it down court to Perkins. Long three, good by Josh Perkins. Second three-pointer of the night, maybe too little too late. Owls get the ball in to Barmas. 20 seconds to go in the game. 60-49, Lincoln on top. Barmas dribbling around, eating up precious time off that clock to John Hayden. Now to Derek Cardinal. 10.5 seconds to go in the game, and a foul called as Cleveland goes up for the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. He'll be shooting 2 as the fans start to head for the exits with 8.3 seconds to go in the contest. 4 fouls on Justin Browning. Played a great ball game for the Hatchets. Cleveland 0 for 1 from the line. It's up. Nope, too hard, no good. Has not found the free throw distance yet. He has 4 points on the game, though. Average is only 2. Dan Cleveland, 6'4", 185-pound senior. In and out, no good. And it's off the hands of Maury Porti, out of bounds to the Owls. With 7.6 seconds to go in this Big 8 basketball contest. Barmas to inbound it for the Owls. Under their own bucket. Comes in real deep to Hayden. Under the Hatchet bucket. And the clock goes down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the ball game. A very good ball game. A hard-fought ball game by both ball clubs. The final score, the Vincennes Lincoln Owls 60 and the Washington Hatchets 49. 60-49, our final score here from the Hatchet House in Washington, Indiana. Good contest for both ball clubs. The Hatchets lose the first Big 8 contest of the year, so now they're 4-1 in Big 8 play, and the Alices advance to 6-0. Make that 6-0 in the Big 8 contest this season. 6-0 Big 8 record. The Alices advanced to 11-5 on the year, and the Hatchets dropped to 12-4. Our final once again from the Hatchet House. The Lincoln Alices take it over the Washington Hatchets by the score of 60-49. We'll be back in 60 seconds, so keep it right here on Wabash Cablevision Channel 23.
It's family time at the Vincennes YMCA. Want to have fun and spend time with the family, you can do both at the Vincennes YMCA.
It's here, all right.
The age of information.
It must be recognized.
Organized.
News. Comedy.
Violence. Everywhere we turn.
Hold it.
Where is truth? What is real?
Information.
Hey, I need some help with this.
Working together, parents and cable TV can help kids learn the skills they need in the information age. Call for a free guide on how to use TV wisely and a free listing of non-violent commercial-free programs. A message from Cable in the Classroom and your local cable company.
With the Big 8 conference lead on the line, we expected a very physical ball game tonight, a hard-fought ball game. That's exactly what we got. The Owls is coming out on top over the Washington Hatchets by the score of 60-49. And here's Hank Lopez to tell you how the scoring went in the ball game.
All right, scoring for the Owls in the game. They were led by Clint Barmas and Derek Cardinal. Barmas ended up with 15 points in the contest. Cardinal also had 15 points with, I believe, 10 of those coming in the fourth quarter. So a great job by Derek Cardinal down the stretch. Hit 6 of 8 free throws there at the end. Then Charles Hitty added in with 13 points. 8 points off the bench for Justin Lowe. Did a good job inside for the Owls. 4 points for Dan Cleveland. 3 points for Mark Beasy, and 2 points for John Hyden right out of the scoring for the Alices, who were the victors tonight, 60-49. For the Washington Hatchets, they were led in scoring by Josh Perkins. Perkins had 15 points. He was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Then it was Maury Porte. Porte had 13 points, did not score in the second half of play, had 13 points at halftime, into the game with 13 points. Then it was 7 points apiece for Ryan Hill, along with 7 points for Justin Browning. 4 points apiece for Kurt Kramer, and then 3 points for Clay Havel rounded out the scoring for the Hatchets as the Alices win it by a score of 60-49.
Okay, and now we're going to take a minute while Hank Lopez trades places with Don Allstott, the JV head coach, assistant varsity coach. You see Don getting positioned beside me here. The Owls have a 11-5 mark on the season now, but more importantly, 6-0 in Big 8 conference play. The Hatchets dropped to 4-1 in conference play. And Don, welcome to us, and congratulations on a Big 8 win.
Tonight on this is fun.
Congratulations. Yeah, what a game it was, I'll tell you. Did you expect anything this physical coming into the contest?
I saw them play a couple times this year, Dan. I tell you what, you know, they weren't near this physical, and tonight they were ready to play, coming at us. And, you know, they knew our power game was pretty decent. They were going to try to stop it in any way possible, and you know, our kids hung in there and just kept fighting and clawing away. It's the kind of game we actually needed. Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough fight, you know, for the Big 8 crown, and it definitely lived up to that billing. But I didn't expect them to come out. I mean, they came out ready to go at it. They're ready to go. You know, they got a pretty good squad here at Washington. You know, of course, they're 4-0 there in the conference coming in, so we knew we had a dogfight coming. They got nice players in Porte and Josh Perkins scoring on the outside, and you know, and Hill and Kramer are big bodies inside, big bangers. You know, we knew it was going to be a contest. It was going to be down the wire down here, and thank God we hit some free throws finally, Dan, down the stretch there to put it away finally. Yeah, Lawrence, or rather not Lawrence Porte, but Maury Porte was on pace in the first half to have a season high. He had 13 points in the first half, but your Alices shut him down totally in the second half. Did not score 1 point in the second half. And Derek Cardinal was basically responsible for him, Dan, in the second half. So he did a real nice job, you know, not quite leaving him as far, you know, just staying down, forcing him to shoot the outside jumper. I thought we did a pretty good job of contesting shots. You know, we fouled a couple shooters there at the end. We hope not to do that. Just force them to shoot those outside jumpers, get a hand up in their face. You know, and overall, we did a pretty good job of contesting shooter shots out there and gave those two a lot of problems out there on the perimeter.
I think one of the problems the Owls have had in the first part of the season was at the free throw stripe. But Derek Cardinal really came through tonight for us. 7 out of 8 from the line, all in the fourth quarter.
It was good to finally see, you know, us come in there and hit some free throws there at the end and win a game that way. You know, we lost a few where we missed that, you know, kids missing a few free throws here and there at the stretch. And by God, he stepped up there, and it was a big man tonight.
Yeah, he's a senior, and well, we've talked about it more on the program, or earlier this year in the program. You're still looking for really a leader to step up and take charge, and maybe Derek Cardinal took one step toward that position tonight.
You know, vocally, we don't really have that. I don't think we'll get that. But, you know, the point tonight was all kids that got out there on the floor, they played hard. And I think, you know, really as far as a vocal leader, it's really not needed. Just as long as guys take charge, you know, and good shot selection, working the basketball, and team orientation out there is the big key. You know, like I said before, Dan, the vocal man is really not needed as long as all guys playing hard. You know, they know each other's roles out there on the floor and who's supposed to be rebounding, who's taking the shots. Crucial situations. You know, that's all we need, and we saw that tonight.
All right. It could be Cardinal tonight. It could be Hetty next game. It could be Barmas next game.
You know, it's any of our 8 kids there we got on the varsity. You know, all those kids can step up and play big. You don't know which one. We got a lot of kids cause a lot of damage scoring. You know, tonight we saw some balance, some other kids there leading and scoring. You know, Chuck still had a pretty good game there, but I think he was tied there at the scoring on the team. I think what Chuck ended up with 15.
I think, yeah. Now Chuck had 13.
13,
Barmas
so we had 2 other guys with 15.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had 2 other guys step up there and lead us in scoring tonight, which we're a dangerous team if we get a lot of scoring from other people.
A balanced scoring attack is very dangerous. You're right. Now, your JV ball club had a great victory tonight. The final score there was 70-42. What did you tell them?
They beat us the second half, Dan. They beat us the second half. We just, I don't know, it was over in a hurry. I mean, it was like 28-1 from the game started there. And, you know, I don't know what percentage we shot there in the first quarter. I think we missed ran a little set play for that lob for Tom Brillhart. I think we missed a layup there, I know, and I think he came back and missed another layup, so the kids kind of, you know, giving him a hard time about missing those first 2 shots, but we flat lit it up against him.
Well, that far ahead, though, it's hard to maintain real total concentration.
Yeah, I just had to razz them a little bit, let them know that they got to be ready to play hard Friday night against Terre Haute South, because both of their varsities and JV are really tough.
Yeah, speaking of Terre Haute South, that's my next question. What, anything special coming up for South, the Braves?
It's, you know, the same style here. You know, they're big inside.